You ever wonder what actually separates a pro from everyone else? I mean, really separates them. Not the talent, not the genetics, not even the club they signed with. I'm talking about the invisible thing, the pattern you can't see unless you're looking for it. So I did something obsessive. I watched 50 professional players, different positions, different leagues, different eras. Messi, Mbappe, Modric, Salah, even legends like Zidane and Ronaldinho. And I found it. One thing. Every single one of them does it. And here's the crazy part. Most players never figure this out. Not because it's complicated, but because it's so simple it sounds like nothing. But once you understand it, your entire approach to football changes. And I'm going to break it down for you right now. Here's what I noticed first. These players, they don't just play football, they prepare for football. And I don't mean team warm-ups or stretching. I mean something deeper, something mental. Watch any pro before a match. Before the whistle even blows, they're already in a different state. Their eyes sharper, their movements more deliberate. It's like they've flipped a switch. Now compare that to most players. They show up, they kick the ball around, maybe they do some drills, and then the whistle blows and suddenly it's chaos. They're not ready, not mentally. And here's the thing no one says out loud. Every pro has a pre-performance ritual. Not a superstition, not luck. A system they use to enter the right mental state before they step on the pitch. Ronaldo does it, Messi does it. Even young players like Bellingham and Gavi, they all have one. And it's not random, it's engineered. Why this matters. Let me explain why this is so powerful. Your brain doesn't just turn on like a light switch. It needs a signal, a trigger that says, okay, it's time, lock in. Think about it. Have you ever noticed you play better in certain situations? Maybe in training when it's relaxed, or in that one big game where adrenaline kicked in and everything clicked. That's not magic. That's your brain entering what scientists call a flow state. But here's the problem. Most players wait for flow state to happen to them. They hope the moment shows up. They cross their fingers and think, maybe today I'll feel it. Pros don't wait. They create it, on demand, every single game. And the way they do it? A pre-performance ritual. What is a pre-performance ritual? Okay, so what actually is this thing? A pre-performance ritual is a series of specific actions you do before every game or training session that signals to your brain it's time to perform. It's not just stretching, it's not just listening to music, it's a deliberate sequence that primes your nervous system. Here's what the research shows. When you repeat the same actions before performing, same breathing pattern, same visualization, same physical trigger, your brain starts to associate those actions with high performance. Over time, it becomes automatic. The second you start the ritual, your body knows what's coming. Your heart rate stabilizes, your focus sharpens, doubt disappears. It's like Pavlov's dog, but for football. You're training your brain to enter peak state the moment you need it. Now let me show you what the pros actually do. What 50 pros taught me. After watching all these players, I noticed the ritual breaks down into 4 core elements. Not all of them do it the same way, but every single one hits these 4 stages. First, physical reset. This is where they ground themselves, get out of their head and into their body. Some players do breathing exercises, deep inhales, slow exhales. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part that calms you down and sharpens focus. Others do dynamic stretches, not random movements, specific sequences they repeat every time. Lunges, hip rotations, ankle rolls. The same order, every game. Why? Because familiarity breeds calm. When your body recognizes the pattern, it stops panicking. It says, I've been here before. I know what to do. Second, mental visualization. Here's where it gets interesting. Almost every pro I studied spends at least 2 to 3 minutes visualizing before they play. And they're not just daydreaming, they're mentally rehearsing. Close your eyes. Picture yourself receiving the ball under pressure. See the defender closing in. Feel the weight of the pass. Visualize your first touch. Perfect, controlled. Now see yourself turning, finding space, delivering the next pass clean. Messi talked about this. He said before every game, he pictures moments, specific situations, what he'll do when the ball comes, how he'll react when defenders press. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. So when you visualize success, you're literally programming your nervous system to perform. So for the past month, I've been working on something called the magnetic touch, and it's finally here. If you want to, stop freezing when you get the ball, make the right decisions in real games without stress, and start controlling the game instead of being controlled by it, then you have a couple days left to get the magnetic touch plus 5 free bonuses. 1, a discount. 2, a 30-day training calendar. 3, drill sheets. 4, my WonderKid game tracker, 5, match day protocol. So go below this video, click the link in the description or the pinned comment, fill out the form, and you're in. Third, confidence anchor. This one's subtle but deadly. Every pro has a phrase, a gesture, or a moment they use to lock in confidence. Ronaldo taps his chest and whispers to himself before big moments. Salah closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. Grealish adjusts his socks. Same way, every time. It's not superstition, it's an anchor. A physical or verbal cue that reminds them, I'm ready, I've done this before, I belong here. And here's the magic. Once you build that anchor through repetition, your brain connects it to all your best performances. So the second you tap your chest or say your phrase, confidence floods in automatically. Fourth, game-specific focus. The last stage is tactical, mental preparation for this specific game. Pros don't just think, I'm going to play well. They think, today I'm going to dominate in transition. I'm going to win every second ball. I'm going to make runs behind the defense. It's targeted, specific, crystal clear. Because the clearer your goal, the sharper your brain performs. When you know exactly what you're hunting for on the pitch, your nervous system doesn't waste energy. It locks onto that one thing like a laser. And that's the ritual. 4 stages, simple, repeatable, powerful. Now here's why this matters so much. Most players show up to a game completely unprepared mentally. They rely on adrenaline, luck, or motivation. And sometimes it works, but most of the time, it doesn't. They panic under pressure. They freeze when the moment's big. They play reactive instead of proactive. And it's not because they're not talented. It's because they never train their brain to enter the right state. Think about it. You train your first touch. You train your passing. You train your fitness. But when do you train your mental state? Never. And that's the gap. That's where pros separate from everyone else. They don't just practice football. They practice being ready for football. How to build your own ritual. All right, so how do you actually build one? Here's the framework. Steal it, customize it, make it yours. Step 1, pick your physical reset, 2 to 3 minutes. Choose one thing you'll do every time before you play. Examples, 10 deep breaths, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Dynamic stretches, same sequence every time. Light jogging with high knees. The key, make it repeatable. Same order, same intensity, every time. Step 2, visualize success. 2 to 3 minutes. Close your eyes. Picture 3 specific scenarios. Receiving the ball under pressure and staying calm. Beating your defender in a 1v1. Delivering a perfect pass or shot. Make it vivid. See the details. Feel the ball. Hear the crowd. Step 3. Create your confidence anchor. 10 seconds. Pick a physical trigger or phrase. Examples. Tap your chest twice and say, let's go. Tighten your gloves and whisper, I'm ready. Adjust your socks and take 1 deep breath. Do this after your visualization. Let it seal the mindset. Step 4, set your game focus. 1 minute. Ask yourself, what's my one goal today? Not vague, specific. Win every 50-50 ball. Make 3 dangerous runs behind the defense. Stay calm under pressure and never panic. Lock it in. Repeat it in your head. Total time, 8 to 10 minutes. That's it. That's the ritual. Here's what I want you to do. For the next 7 days, do this ritual before every training session or game. Same sequence, same order, no skipping. At first it'll feel awkward. You'll think, this is weird, does this even work? But by day 4 or 5, something shifts. You'll notice you're calmer, sharper, more in control. By day 7, you won't want to play without it. Because once your brain learns the pattern, it becomes automatic. The second you start your ritual, you enter game mode. And that's the difference. That's what the pros figured out. They don't wait for greatness, they build a system that delivers it every time. Let me leave you with this. I analyzed 50 pros, different styles, different positions, different eras, but every single one had this, a ritual, a system, a way to prepare their mind before their body even touched the ball. And here's what that tells me. Talent gets you noticed, but preparation keeps you elite. So stop leaving your mental game to chance. Stop hoping you'll feel confident. Stop waiting for flow state to find you. Build your ritual, train your brain, and show up ready. Because the best player on the pitch isn't always the most skilled. It's the one who's mentally prepared when the whistle blows. Now drop a comment. What's one thing you're going to add to your pregame ritual this week? Let me know. I read every single one. And if this hit, smash that like button and subscribe, because we're just getting started. And if you are serious about going pro, don't forget to join the Magnetic Touch. And if you do, I will see you there.